Yo, yo, yo. We gotta finish Nightmare. See if we can get some drops. I hate how long those things take to open. Thanks. He fucking died. Never saw the figurine drop. There it is. Look at that.
Don't sense any magic
Look at that.
about this item. Very strange.
Freeze. I've damn it.
Shit.
Good day.
That poaching. Right, Mosh. Oh, I keep forgetting to revive my dude.
Hello.
Throwing axe. Let's see it. Isuk. Somebody give me a Grail item. Your jungle just out here hiding and shit.
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
Death crown or two or fire cold life. Well, oh man, again.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
Strength.
I must take this to Ormus.
Oh, all's in there. Sneaky, sneaky. just trivialize all this content, huh?
I can't carry anymore.
Listen. You, this man.
Oh, trash.
Good evening.
Good evening. What is this guy talking about? Huh? Impossible. Damn it!
I can't carry anymore.
Give me the uniques. That ain't it.
Not enough mana.
Wait for Mephisto for something.
carry anymore. Not enough mana. Not enough mana.
I'm gonna test this. Some of you guys may not know this, but the sewer stairs are the only stairs you can go down with your mind.
You have. You have. Hello. Good day.
Good day. Where's the flail haver?
The temple's power is annulled.
Christ.
I can't carry anymore.
Yes. Yes.
Leaf staff to a druid.
Not enough mana.
That was easy. to the wrong place, dudes. They've been teasing me with them fucking serpent skins. I don't even want to get it. I don't want it.
I need mana.
Jesus. Oh, what the fuck? And nobody's
This war
dropping
shall
nothing.
no longer darken our souls with hatred.
The top.
Greetings.
All right. Easy game. got a Yari.
He was corrupted to the core. I pity him.
Big damage. Ooh, some boots, baby. Let's see. Oh, the gloves, even better. A blood fist. This isn't helping me at all. 40 life? Let's see. Some resis. Oh, yeah. Poison. Oh, yeah. Big upgrade. Poke him. Might be over fire. 119, so 19 in hell. Oh, I won't. Oh well. F. Welcome.
Thanks.
What do we get for a Nightmare Forge? There we go. There we go. Moonfall. Moonfall. Looks like a mace if I've ever seen one. Exceptional mace. Right there it is. What are we up to? What are we up to? 3.56. Get some potions.
Hail to you, champion.
Blood fist. All right. I got it. We'll get that forge done. Ooh, Yari. Who you be? Own Sundane. We back at it. That's definitely, oh shit. It's definitely a spear, yeah? Bows. Daves. Spears. Oh, Sundane. Bam. 3.75. Getting close to that goal of 4% today. See something good. A hell rune. Rip. Oh, we got the fucking ledger still up, dudes. Rip. Level 57. All right, small charm. Give me some good. Oh. See what Ethan's doing. What up? What up, bro? Just a heads up, I am streaming on YouTube. Just a heads up. It's just like, you know why we do things.
I appreciate it.
Well, skip me.
Just hanging out, man. Trying to figure out like tickets on a lot of things, concerts, wrestling bullshit this weekend.
Are you going to that wrestling thing?
So
I am overburdened.
yeah, so for like all in, I know I was gonna be doing like or I proposed us all hanging out or whatever. Me and Renee like today during like a shitty meeting, we're like, let's just buy tickets, let's fucking go for it. So we spent like $250 getting tickets, but they were like resells. So we paid for the resale tickets. I don't know like how that goes, but we bought them. We had to go through like it's a pending, so it's like you get the email. It's like you're going to the thing. Cool. Here's your thing. Then we got like another email that was like refunded. We called the thing like whatever the resale thing company whatever is.
Yeah.
We're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, do we have the tickets or not? And they're like, oh, once it clears your like bank or whatever, then you have them. So we're just like sitting in limbo until tomorrow. So we either don't have them and have to find new seats, or we do have them.
Well, hopefully you got them.
It's just like a whole. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Otherwise, it's like we're gonna have to like go to the bank, try to avoid like the whole entire thing, try to find new seats. The seats we've got were really good too, which sucks.
Sounds like you spent a pretty penny on.
Yeah, if we don't get them, in fairness, we were also buying like super last minute, so I'm thinking like potentially it's like we were in the process of like paying for them. Someone else also found said seats, pay for them. There's like a whole malarkey of like who paid first or whatever. If we end up like losing the seats and get refunded, I think we might just back out of it and just go back to the original idea of just host at my house and you guys can come hang out or whatever. So if that happens, you guys are in. I'll let you know. If we do get them, I'm definitely just gonna go.
Yeah, of course. Of course. How's the week been, bro? Hump day? Making it?
Yeah, week's been good, man. Just keeping it chill for the most part.
Sue
Like the
staying
first
off your
week I've
back?
had since- Nope. I've had to do Sue yesterday and today. Well,
we hate
yesterday
that
I caught
bitch.
up on all of. Yeah, dude. Sue, ooh, fucking hate Sue. No, I mean yesterday was like my first day back, so had to catch up on UC, which is my department. So like, mad tickets. As soon as I was done though, right back to Sue. Sue was all of my day today, outside of like the 3 fucking meetings I had to sit through of just stupid, like politicking and retarded shit like that.
Ah!
Either way, I'll keep you updated on like how the pay-per-view goes, whether or not we're doing like a party over here or if I'm just gonna go to it.
Okay. Shit.
How's your week, man?
Pretty chill, pretty chill. Also had a meeting today, but wasn't crazy. It did last a long time, but it's not like any actionable items, you know?
Pretty slow for the most part. I mean, I'm assuming like, well, I was gonna say assuming coming off of like the holiday, you'd be swamped.
Yeah, we were busy on Monday. Our day, oh shit. Our day is kind of almost always the same. Every now and then you'll have like one weird day. It's like slow to mid busy is the average.
So was this mid or mid busy today?
Today was slow. We benefit from like some of our branches benefit, well, don't benefit. They sell a lot of small things, so they have a lot of high transactions, but for low tickets. Well, my branch is big ticket items. So it's low transactions, but big tickets. Not low transactions, but lower than some.
So like what is like low versus big tickets like workload wise?
A low ticket is like somebody comes into your store, takes up all your time, spends $50, and let's go. Huge drop. G-Face? Oh yeah, let's go.
I can't.
Get that shit in there, dude. I'm very excited. Diablo dropping bigs.
Yes.
So I have like 4 conversations coming out
Oh, that's
like,
not-
at the same time. So like my homie Zach from my last job, he's always been like, anytime like wrestling's coming to town, let's go. And so I was like, okay, well I'm like a 50-50 on like getting these seats. So like if I don't get them, you want like, you know, if it gets resold to me, do you want to come into it? And he's just like, I don't know, birthday dinner. And I was like, all right, well, bitch. Like, okay. I was like, well, the next day there's a TJWP fucking pay-per-view. And he's like, nah, I gotta get lunch with my fucking family. I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm not gonna like offer this to you anymore. Like, he's like, no, but for real, next time. Next time they come into town. I was like, I don't know what the fucking next time is, man. This is like the weekend for it. Also fighting with my mom right now, so that's fun.
Oh shit.
But we'll take, I'm not gonna get into deets on that one.
No worries.
Not tonight.
Didn't drink enough.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely on one. Okay, so like
4%. Let's go.
so like Theo posted like the spirit box thing in Austin. I don't know if it like totally followed like back and forth. I think like he was posting like let's go to that, and like I was like, are there no Dallas shows? He was like, no, they were back in Dallas at this point. I was like, right. I was trying to say like, are there no like Dallas shows on this tour?
I think he was basically saying we missed the Dallas opportunity, in the sense that there are no more Dallas opportunities.
Okay. I think I just like misinterpreted that entire thing. Spirit, I mean, like, dude, like, not for nothing, like, Spirit Box not really my thing, but like, if they were in town, homies wants to go, like, I'll join.
I'm definitely not familiar with their shit.
I think it's like one of those like some of their singles I think are really good. I wouldn't say I'm familiar with them outside of that, but if they played like the ones I'm like more like in tune with, I'd be like, yeah, cool. For like an hour, like a couple of bangers, hang with homies, drink a couple beers, like whatever.
I think my only problem with it is on a Tuesday in Austin. If it was on a Friday in Austin, I would 100% go.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, my PTO is kind of like tied up, so it's sort of like, let me see how much I can accrue by that time, and if I get like, I looked at the openers. Like, I'm unfamiliar with one of them. They're, I don't know, some sort of like band called like Lunchbox Happy or some shit. I don't know, probably dog shit. Periphery, I'm very like kind of familiar with. They're like a prog metal band. I feel like I know a couple of their songs.
Prog metal sounds right up your alley, bro.
Yeah, but I just like I don't really know them. Like they back in the day, like they opened for Protest the Hero, and I caught like a couple of like. I've never really kept up with them, but I wouldn't say they were outside of my wheelhouse,
Right.
Dude, by the way, so bought Death Stranding 2. It's fucking tits. It's also, it's not really like, it has elements of being the same as the previous one.
Oh.
Like it very much starts with like, hey, go deliver some packages or whatever. But they get rid of the, so like in the first one, like if you kill someone, you have to like go like take their body and burn it or whatever. Like they kind of like force you to do like a pacifist role.
He's spoiling the game for me.
No, it's like in the beginning they straight up they give you it's like the assault rifle and the handgun from like all the previous games or whatever, but they just go yeah, these aren't real bullets, they're electric bullets that don't kill people. So they just that whole if you kill someone, it eliminates that whole they just kind of get rid of it. So I think they kind of like heard people saying like that part of that gameplay set sucks. So
I never actually killed anybody in the game. I definitely beat a bunch of people up. I don't even know what happens. Do you just lose?
No, so like if you kill someone, you remember like in the beginning, like there's like that furnace.
Yeah, they turn into nukes. Do you got to like deliver their body to a furnace or something?
Yeah, so if you kill somebody, you have to like take their body, transport it all the way the fuck back. I would reset it if I accidentally kill someone.
Just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I mean like you have to like cross like all of America just get to back like that furnace in the first area. But yeah, they subvert that in this one where they just go, yeah, these are electric bullets. So if you shoot someone in the head, you're not really killing them.
Just electrocutes their brain.
Yeah, they're like they're temporarily down or whatever, so you could just like headshot like somebody and just fuck off. They emphasize a lot of like, really honestly, they put like a lot of like Metal Gear Solid like stuff into it. It's like sneak around, shoot motherfuckers, or like do your like trank stuff, hide the bodies type stuff. If you want, you can also like completely just walk around and subvert the entire section. I'm only a couple hours in, so I don't really have a lot of those spoilers, but a lot of quality of life improvements immediately.
I mean, I expected that. All right.
I got a buddy of mine who's way ahead of me at this point in the story. He sent me like mad spoiler screenshots, which I will not share, but
Why would he do
hated the
such a
first
thing?
game.
Salutations.
I don't know. I got like my understanding is like he did not like the first game, never finished it. For some reason, bought this anyway, and has only been on a tear. So he's like 20 plus hours in,
Sounds like how I game.
and he's just like, dude, this is so fucking sick. He's sending me stuff, and I was just like, yeah, this is shit from like, this is like why I liked Metal Gear Solid. This looks like Metal Gear Solid shit. But that being said,
I just
there's
want it to stay strange. So, as long as it stays
Oh, dude,
strange,
it is.
which I'm sure it's going to. Like, I have no doubt.
Oh wait, it is still very fucking strange. I would
That's-
argue stranger.
That's what brought me into the first one. That's what kept me.
Yeah, man. I mean, like again, not even very far into it, but it's still very fucking Death Stranding. But they just kind of eliminated the parts that like you had to walk around the first time, so you could just sort of, like, if you were like avoiding conflict or whatever, they're just like, yeah, just fucking shoot people. Who cares?
Just fucking get in there and blast them.
Yeah, still good. I mean, still like it. Acting's on point. I mean, the graphics are obviously way better.
I would hope the original was a PS3 game.
Yeah, I mean, well, they remastered a little bit, or had like a director's cut on PS4.
I mean, I played on PC. I could have modded it if I really wanted to. That made it look like a next gen game. A
Definitely
co-rune?
early
I'll take
enough
that.
where I would say I'm definitely early enough to where the story hasn't really started yet. Like, I think where I left off, I have like the first delivery that's going to be like the first huge like story crazy twist or whatever, and then it's going to go from there, but I haven't got there yet. Just like where I'm at, it's like exposition dumps, deliver a couple packages, boost up some like cities or whatever, or like the little bunkers. They do the same thing where it's like if you deliver enough like random lost shit along your delivery to like the bunkers, like they get beefed up and they give you like extra items.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it next year.
Well, I haven't been able to play it since Saturday, so and the way this week is going, I'm probably not going to play it till next week. But once I get through like some story bits, I'll at least tell you whether or not it's like more improved than as much as I'm saying it's improved at this point.
Just been busy at the house.
It just, like, so like there was like a 4th of July thing here that was fun, like over at the neighbor's house. Just chill like the last 2 days, like on the vacay, just like writing and shit. It's just been back to work, just been like kind of keeping it pretty chill for the most part.
Keeping it chill sounds nice, bro.
Yeah, especially after like it was like Friday night, we stayed up all night, and then like the next day I had to stay up all night with the neighbor, and then after that I was just like, dude, I need to like fucking crash. So just like watch like a shitload of Apothecary Diaries, which I would totally recommend if you're looking for an anime recommendation.
Oh, we fucking binged the Squid Game season 3, and that shit sucked. I was interested until the very end.
Yeah, I was okay. So we have a coworker that's like super hyped on Squid Games, and he started season 3, and he was like, "This is kind of shitty." And I was like, "Well, I didn't start season 2 because I heard they basically like season 2 was they took like they filmed like all season 2, cut it in half, and that's what's 2 and 3."
Yep, that's what they
I
did.
was like, "What? I don't want to watch like half of a season knowing the other half is coming out soon." I also don't really remember the first season. Honestly, it's just been too long.
Old guy, you feel for him. He's like, you're like cheering for the old guy the whole time, and then he dies, but he doesn't die because he's actually like the leader of the whole fucking thing.
Illuminati thing or whatever.
What is it?
It was like an Illuminati, like rich people thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I remember that there was also like the guy in like the black mask was like his brother or something.
This is the cop's brother.
Like yeah, or just remember like little nuggies of it. It was just like I liked it when it came out, but it was like so many years since then that like you just lose interest. So whenever they came out with season 2, I was like, I'll just wait for the next season, and then no one's told me the new season's great, so.
I didn't hate it. It almost Game of Thrones itself. It almost like it didn't go that far.
Okay, I mean, like in fairness, like comparing to Game of Thrones last season, it's like the worst season of like television, basically, or like one of the worst seasons.
It definitely makes me not want to watch anymore. It went at least that far.
You finished the 3rd season, yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've watched all of the Squid Games.
Okay, so my understanding, with again no context, is that the 3rd season ends in a way that paves the way for like an American spinoff, which I read that like David Fincher is producing or directing a American Squid Games.
I don't know anything about the director, but they 100% set up the American Squid Games.
Okay, so like David Fincher is the director of like Seven, Zodiac, fucking Social Network, The Killer,
Rage.
like a bunch of like amazing movies.
I mean, it probably could be good. I think some of the allure is it's like a foreign show. I don't know. Is that weird?
No. I mean, I think it was the first season was interesting because it wasn't like an American weird like was like, have you ever seen The Game?
No.
Yeah, there's another David Fincher thing. Maybe that's why like he got brought into it.
Like right
But
up
yeah,
his alley or something?
Yeah, he has sort of like that like neo noir, very like dark themed type of like filmography, you know. I think at this point he's also like an older dude, so he's probably not trying to direct like live action shit or like full films at this point. Probably just like making the Netflix money.
I think what's actually happening with the show in another way is it's kind of turning into Saw in a way where it's like, how many interesting ways can we think to like bring up a game that kills people and make you feel sad about it?
It's like torture porn.
Yeah, but like they don't really like lean heavy into the torture. They try to lean into like you feeling sorry for the characters that are going through the problem. But they can't just give you the same games every time because then it would get really boring.
I mean, even the games were like very simplistic. I think that was kind of like the allure, right? Like, there's like the game where it's like you had to like lick the cracker. For,
Yeah,
like,
it's like
games.
it's kid games, right? That anyone should be able to play, but not everyone can just be amazing.
Yeah, it's also like with the Saw franchise, like I think part of the allure was like the games were like winnable. Like to like the detriment of like what you had to sacrifice to like get through them. I feel like that was like kind of a big moment with like the Squid Game stuff, but if they make it like harder or like more impossible to win, then it makes it fun to watch.
So none of the games were impossible to win, I would say.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like a bad franchise. It was just like the first season was like really good. It's just been too long.
Kind of came out in the middle of the pandemic too, which
Yeah, there's like not a lot of content. They also like Netflix had no concept of like that game or that show exploding the way it did. They also like make those like annoying spin-offs.
oh, I didn't even know there were spin-offs.
Yeah, like they made like an actual like game show of it.
Oh, okay, I'm not
There was like
surprised.
yeah, there was like the whole it was like Mr. Beast or whatever, that fucking guy. Like he had
Oh,
like
that's
a Beast game.
that's why I never heard of it. If that's what it was.
Yeah, and like he had like one, and like all the people who were like participants were like, the conditions were inhumane and fucked up and weird, and I was like, yeah, but I mean, like that was the whole point of the show, right? Like, 'cause I mean, you would assume you were getting into something that would like kind of fuck you up. All right, come on, Kuro. Yep. Here's your food. Fucking shit like cat.
I don't know, man. The way that world's trending right now, I feel like 10 years away from like that being a reality, and people just watching it on TV for real, for real.
Yeah, you know.
Like we're
Do you
straight
want
back
health
to
insurance?
we're straight back to Gladiator, like setting up a fucking coliseum and watching people play games for life and death.
Yeah. So, how much do you want to fucking win for your son's leukemia? It's like run through a gauntlet that'll kill yourself, but if you win, your son gets chemo. Sure, we're not too far off from that kind of thing. Isn't the premise of like Stephen King's like Running Man or some shit?
I have no idea on that.
I can't.
They're just killing my boy. I've been playing. Bert, you can be proud of me. You ready?
Yeah.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 9.
Oh, OG?
The PC version, which I think has like upgraded sprites and shit, and then I modded it to look even better.
Okay, out of curiosity, are you doing the so they had a version that was like on PS3, PS4. I think it was like you can, instead of like actually like grinding and upgraded, like you can just like hit a tab and just do max damage.
If that exists, I don't know, and I'm not doing it. I would never do it.
Where are you at in the story so far?
We just got to Limgrave, or Limb Bomb, or whatever the fuck, with the little bug king. So very, very
Oh yeah, he's
early.
He's a little frog guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still pretty early on.
I was gonna play a little more tonight.
Have you been fighting like the little they're like VVs, but they have like wings or whatever?
Yeah, I just fought the third one and he crashed into a fucking tunnel.
Yeah.
Which those tunnels
Okay.
make no sense. I'm like, I'm in an airship and I'm flying through this thing that I could just fly over. I could fly over it.
Yeah. Not everything in Final Fantasy makes sense.
Why are they just not flying over the thing?
Because it's dramatic, I guess. I don't know. I know what part you're at though. Like this is still very like disc 1.
Oh, so I mean, I have to be only like 2 hours into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're still like in the development of like the actual like what's happening in the world and stuff. So
I think Vivi has an interesting problem. Like, I'm trying to figure out where they're taking his story. His arc is the most interesting arc, where he has like, I feel like he might be a doll that is sentient in some way, is my guess. Don't spoil it. That's my guess.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna spoil it. You're good. No, Vivi's story, I would say, is like probably the most like emotionally put together. Like his ultimately, like I think carries like a lot of the weight of a lot of the story. Even with like the reveals and like whatever, like I think like whenever you get to it, like he's like probably like he's a fan favorite for like a very specific reason. Zidane's gets there. It does take a hot minute though. Like, I want to say Zidane's is like almost like disc 3, where you finally get there. So you just get little nuggies of that. It's very reminiscent to like Cloud's reveal. Not as. The twist isn't as crazy.
Right now, he's actually the most annoying character. He's like, oh, if you have girl problems and all the girls love me. All right, we get it. Come on, monkey boy.
He starts annoying as fuck. As fuck. And he stays pretty fucking annoying for like a while. Again, he eventually will get there. Like, he'll eventually become like an emotional beat in the story. But it's a while.
I'm gonna stick to it.
Steiner really never gets there, if I'm being honest. Like, he's just kind of the same.
You gotta sneeze.
Dagger,
Help.
Dagger gets some good moments. Yeah, I got it. 1 sec. Switching to the computer. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound much better. The only character I'm annoyed by, I think they're all actually fairly interesting, is Zidane. I can be swooned over though. He could change my mind.
I was saying, like, he kind of reminds me of like it's kind of hard to compare because you haven't played like the Persona games, but it's like Persona 4. Like after playing 5, if you play 4, you kind of see like where they were like kind of like meeting like story beats where it was like kind of like gluing together, like combat system was kind of gluing together. Like they just kind of had like they were just right to where it was going to be like fantastic and perfect, but just like not quite there yet until like the next one came out. So sort of like 9 is like them figuring out like specific characters, like, you know, like it's like the main chick's like a summoner, or she's like one of the only ones who do magic or whatever. It's like and Zidane's this sort of like free, happy-go-lucky, like, haha, I'm like this little funny guy or whatever. And if you play 10, it's like Titus is sort of like a more well-rounded version of Zidane. Yuna's a more well-rounded version of like Dagger, like kind of shit. You know, you could see like the as the story progresses, like where they're kind of like feeling it out and fleshing it out. You know?
We gotta figure out. I just learned. I just met Freya. That was the last thing I remember doing.
Freya rules.
And they just introduced like some weapon combination system where like I can take 2 items and combine them to make better weapons.
Yeah.
So I gotta play with that a little bit.
Yeah, it's yeah, no, great game. Not gonna spoil anything, but yeah, solid stuff.
I had an interesting revelation. You're gonna be unsurprised. Going back and playing a game that I didn't like originally felt so good to play because I'm just like, modern Final Fantasy is dead to me.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Like the fact that it, like, as soon as they were like, maybe we're gonna remake 9, who cares? Well, it was just like, dude, I've been waiting for that for so long because all the new Final Fantasies suck. Again, outside of the 7 remakes, I know we have our differences there, but like, I think you and I can both agree that like 15 fucking sucks a dick. 16 was fucking terrible.
You know what's really sad about Final Fantasy is 13 is like the last like real Final Fantasy to me. It's the last. I mean, I didn't care for it either, but it was the last turn-based Final Fantasy.
The problem with 13 is like it's turn-based,
but if your main character dies, you lose. It was strange.
Well, but you could break 13 so easily.
Oh, I don't care about that at all. I broke Expedition 33 and it wasn't hard, and that game is the best JRPG ever made.
But Expedition 33 is built on you breaking it. You know what I mean? Like as soon as they give you like the Picto that's like do over like 999 damage or whatever, like the rest of the game is built on the concept that you can break the battle system. So like I don't mind that.
Well,
Specifically because
I like that it has a story beat. It's because you reveal that you're a painter and you're basically a god of the world, so you should be doing massive damage.
Yeah. With 13, the problem is the game isn't supposed to be broken, and you can break it in the easiest way possible.
I can tell you that I didn't figure it out on my playthrough. I didn't have that issue at all.
Dude,
I had like a normal playthrough. I didn't figure it out.
dude, bro, if you break it, it nullifies like the back half of the game. It makes the entire game like the not broken.
I'm generally the type of person that doesn't look up anything about a game too. Like my motto is if I can't play your game and beat it without a guide, I'm just not going to beat your game.
I mean, great motto, dude. I respect that, dude. I mean, like I respect like the exposition version of it because it's like once you break it, the game is still not easy. Like all the optional shit is like very hard.
I mega broke it, yeah.
The only thing I didn't beat was Simon.
I two-shot Simon. I two-shot him because he had a second phase.
Well, so I think it was like, so with Simon, I missed like a picto that was like very like integral for like the broken thing or whatever. I just did not have anything to like make me want to like go find it. It's just like one of those like little side areas I just never cared to go through. But it was like enough of like me meandering through like a specific thing to get the picto that I just was like, fuck it, let me like build my picto to like fight him. I could one-shot him easy in the first phase. Second phase, I can one-shot him to like 1/3, and I just didn't have it in me to like figure out his parry system, and I was just like, I don't care, fuck it. He doesn't have enough lore for me to care. Clea at least built on the foundation of it. Simon's just sort of, he's like the ruby weapon of the game.
Yeah, I'm glad he existed. They actually patched the game where like even my build probably wouldn't be able to one-shot him anymore. So I don't think you can do like millions of damage anymore. I think it's like a 900, like a 1 million cap or some shit.
Yeah, I told my buddy Rans, he's like playing it right now, and he was just like, oh, I just beat all this. I only have Renoir left, and I was like, dude, you have to go fight Clea. You have to do Simon, all this other shit. He's like, I have no idea what that is. Not like spoil it for him. I think I told you that.
Yeah.
And like this morning, he texted me. He's like, I beat Clea. I'm gonna go fight Simon. And I was just like, Simon is different, dude. Clea can beat as long as you can parry. Simon is tough. Like, if you're not one-shotting him in the first phase, you have no chance.
Good afternoon.
Also, like, getting to him is brutal.
Yeah, those monsters are hard as fuck.
That's where I leveled up, too. I did, like, the dark beach or whatever, where you fight the hand monsters.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did that to, like, level 85, went to Renoir's drafts, got to, like, level 94.
I did appreciate how fast you level up in that game. Like, leveling up was not a grind.
Yeah, you kind of just only do, like, a couple, like, passes through like certain sections and just, like, beef up.
Yeah, big fan of that. Like, don't waste my time. I'm here to grind. You do a small grind. You're like, all right, cool. That paid off really quick.
I will say this, since you haven't played Persona 5 yet, this is a quality of life they put into Persona 5 Royal. But so, there's this area of the game called Mementos, which is basically just like a giant dungeon. You just crawl. I wouldn't say it's optional, like it ultimately plays into the in-game. I'm just giving you a heads up because the game does not tell you that. But they have like a certain thing, when you get to a specific level with a character, like when you, like, you have like that bond system where it's like you hang out with people and like you get better like connectivity with them, and it's like level 1 bond, level 2 bond, whatever. If you max out a certain character, when you go to Mementos, if you're a level above the monsters in there, the game just assumes you like win the battle. So as long as you attack them like before they see you or whatever, you just auto win. So as soon as you get to like a certain like level in the game, you can just go through Mementos. Instead of like leveling up or like grinding or whatever, you can just run through floors and just like smack people and just auto level. Because the game assumes that you're a higher level, so like why would you fight them? So there's just like whole things. If you want to like grind until you get to like a certain level or whatever, you can just like run through that shit.
strange.
How
I mean,
many
that's a super quality of life. It almost seems like a little too much quality.
I would say it's not because of how the game's paced. Like Mementos is an optional thing, but like you have to do it. It's hard to explain it without you playing the game or whatever. It's like Mementos is sort of like a thing you have to do in between palaces and also like the everyday to day thing. So it's not like you're constantly going there. So it's like there's a lot of like story and a lot of like gameplay that you're gonna have to go through before like you get to that point. So where in Mementos you're actually like butt fucking everything in there. But once you get there, instead of like going through like a slog of like 20 floors of just like meandering through like battles that you're just gonna auto win, it just auto wins for you, and you just like fly through that shit. It kind of rules, honestly. It's like otherwise, like you're just gonna spend like 2 or 4 hours just like grinding for levels that you don't really need, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. Also, like their caveat though is like if you stay on a floor for too long, there's an ultra boss called the Reaper. So like if you hang out on the floor for too long, just going back and forth, like winning over and over, the Reaper will appear, and the Reaper is like the ultra boss in the game. Like he starts at like level like 95. For every 1 turn you do, he does 2 turns. He basically has like ultra kill moves, insta kill moves, shit like that. It's pretty nuts. He always knows your weaknesses. I'll say I beat him, but it took like an hour and a half. Like even with like you max damaging and shit, like he still takes it all, and it's tough.
Do you get good shit from beating him?
If you beat him, like everybody levels up like 10 levels.
What's the max level in the game? 99.
I think so. I think I beat the game at like level like 96, 97, some shit like that. But if you do that, when you go to the end, it's sort of like Expedition, where it's like when you're at that level cap, the final stuff is like nothing. In Persona 5 Royal, there's like an extra, as long as you do like the right things, you can unlock the last 20 hours. The final boss does give you like a little bit of a tough go, because you have to like have specific things to like damage like parts of like his persona and shit, because through like 5 phases they recycle like your characters and stuff, so like it's not the most easy, but it's still like at that level it's not that challenging. It's a great game.
Maybe one day. I'm gonna get through Final Fantasy 9. I was gonna play Metaphor originally after beating fucking The Witcher, but I haven't beat The Witcher. I feel like I needed to take a break a little bit because I played Witcher 1, 2, and 3 all back to back. It was like a 40-hour game followed by a 30-hour game, and I'm like 40 or 50 hours into this one, so I'm like, man, I'm 120 hours into this series. I just need to take a little bit of a break and come back to it.
Yeah, dude, that's fair.
Like I was 70 hours in before even starting Witcher 3.
I mean, dude, like I did the same with like a lot of like Metaphor. I think was 100, 112 hours. I don't know. It was like 100 something hours. When that was over, I would like, immediately it was just like, I just gotta play like Mega Man or some shit. I just can't play something like that long. And then, you know, Expedition I thought was like maybe like 30 hours. Turned out to be like, you know, 60, 70 something whenever I finally beat it. Back to Mega Man, you know, just something else. That's why I'm like trying not to do Lies P DLC, because Lies P I think was like 50 hours or some shit. I'm assuming Death Stranding 2 is not going to be that long. I could be wrong.
I think I put 40 hours into that game.
I don't think I did. It's hard to say though, because like Kojima games are like so many cutscenes are like 2 hours, and then like the amount of time you put into like the actual like gameplay is like less. I've also been playing Mario Sunshine, which is just very much like just pick it up for 2 hours and just fuck around.
You know what? I also watched maybe it was like 2.5 hour or like a 2 hour video about breaking down the ending of Rebirth. And I think the guy,
Okay.
I think the
Interesting.
guy is I don't know. I think the guy's a fucking genius. Because he was talking about shit that I would have never put together, even though I never played the game. Maybe some of it is.
Can you give me the TLDR?
Man, I don't even know if I can. There were so many different angles that he came from. What if I just link you the video? You can watch it tomorrow.
You know, let's go, because I do appreciate when Theo throws me the lore videos, because those get me through the day. Sometimes, you know, run a podcast like let's go through like an Elden Ring fucking breakdown or something.
It was 2 hours long. 2 hours long.
Okay, yeah, throw it at me. Because I have my opinions of it, but I will say I did not dissect it beyond how I experienced it.
Let's see if I can break this down like some TLDR, and I'm probably gonna get this wrong, so you're probably still gonna need to watch it anyway. So basically, the premise was like there's a lot of people in the community who people that still like the game, mind you, that felt like they maybe
still like the game.
That maybe that they don't know where the story's going, and they're just kind of like waiting to see how people react, and that's why they were like wishy-washy with the ending. Just to kind of see how people feel. And then he goes through like past interviews, past quotes. He links it to other media and like how storytelling's done. And he kind of comes it all together, and he's like, I think they know exactly where this is going. They did it for a reason, and they compared like Aerith to Dream Aerith to real Aerith, like what's real, what's not real. That like it was the most in-depth analysis of a video game I've ever seen in my life. I was so impressed with this video.
Okay. I feel like every version of her was real. It was just I will say, like, I didn't hate the ending the way that, like, I mean, like, dude, like the fandoms always are like so very like shitty, like, oh god, it didn't end the way that I wanted.
So this kind of happened to me in Rebirth too. I mean, not Rebirth, in Remake. Okay, we're no longer memeing. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I felt, because I meme a lot.
Yeah.
I actually did hate that game all the way up until I realized what was happening. Once I figured out what was happening, I went from a 3 to like a 6.5. Because like
whenever you realized it was like the multiverse thing.
Yeah, once I started paying attention to like what Aerith was saying, and like what Sephiroth was saying, and then I realized like, oh, it makes so much sense why Sephiroth's been here the whole time, because in the original you don't see him at all except for the very beginning.
Sephiroth doesn't even show up. He comes in like blinks. You only see him whenever you officially fight him.
Yeah, so like all those things that were annoying me, like, so why is Sephiroth here? This is like, why are they doing this? Like I don't understand. The whispers are stupid, and the fate demons are dumb. Like I hated all of it. And then when I realized, okay, this is not a remake per se. It is a remake, but not in the same traditional sense that it's like a play on words.
I mean, it's a reboot, technically.
No, it's a continuation, I think. I think the Sephiroth we have is the Sephiroth from Advent Children.
Yeah, the one that he said, "I will never be a memory."
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's a continuation. I think Aerith has been there, and she is also a continuation, where everyone else is kind of just they're on the same event path, but on a different time line, if that makes sense. Like they're on the same timeline, like everything's growing linear, but just in I don't want to say different world, because that's not correct, but like a different multiverse.
Yeah, okay, so did you ever watch Neon Genesis?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, that I was gonna make like a huge direct comparison to that, but like if you have no context, it's a little tough. But like, keep going. Sorry.
Well, so and then like everything that happens in Remake, technically outside of the newer things and like a couple characters living and or dying, like Biggs and Wedge, and Jesse, basically it's all the exact same events. So like nothing really changes from the first game to the second game, other than like you fight Sephiroth a few times, you fight Sephiroth at the end. Which
Well, no, like Biggs lives because he has like a whole side plot in like the Zack version.
yeah, and Biggs dies in the first game,
Yes,
and so does
like,
Jesse and Wedge.
yes. So that yeah, Biggs lives, but like he also like in Rebirth he has like a lot of like I should have died. I don't know why I'm alive. Like and Zack's always like chasing him down and shit. So there's like a whole like a they go into that a little bit, not enough, but like yeah, they do kind of chase that a little bit.
Well, and so I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, remake and the original Final Fantasy hit all the same story beats, with like the exception of those few things.
Yeah, no, it's borderline the same game.
Right.
Which is what's great.
Outside the combat's awful. So I like if I liked the combat, I probably would have gave that game like an 8 or something. The combat drug it so far down for me. But once I realized what everything was actually happening, or at least in my brain what I thought was happening, I went from absolutely hating it to like, okay, I appreciate where this is going. But I don't know if I can play it. I might have to watch it. And then after watching,
I would say like totally fair. I also don't think I explained it as well as probably this guy did whenever we were talking about it.
Dude, you are going to be blown away. I'm mad that this video only has 100,000 views. This video should have 3 million views. This is one of the most this video is so profound in the way his analysis of the events, which made me like, I'm glad I stopped playing it and I just watched that, because I appreciate what he showed me and like enlightened me too. So I'm not gonna ruin his conclusion, but
no, go for it. Like I'll watch it tomorrow too. I have so much work to do. So I'm gonna need this.
He basically, like, everyone was like, for the people who were like, I don't know about the ending, it seemed like they were wishy-washy, and he's like, I don't think they were wishy-washy. I think you're gonna get an even more sad ending, where you actually say goodbye to Aerith, because right now she can kind of live eternally in the live stream, and the events are gonna come down to where she gets to move on from the live stream. Like, she no longer has to look after Cloud, because that's kind of what she's doing in Advent Children. Because assuming all the events play out in the sequel, if you don't change your fate, you're gonna get Advent Children again, right? You're gonna get space cancer. So you got to figure out how to not get space cancer. You got to figure out how to subvert. You got to figure out how to, because in Advent Children, Cloud's all like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like all he wants to do is be forgiven. I think Cloud is going to come to an emotional ending where he does feel forgiven. Aerithis has her ability to move on and not have to like continue to reassure him anymore.
Right.
And it's gonna be way worse than her originally dying ever could be. Is kind of his analysis. But he breaks it all down and how he gets there.
I will say this, like Square, whenever they release Advent Children, they release the like the very cut version of it. They only came out with like the complete version of it like way too after the fact, where everyone shit all over it. And they were like, "Oh, here's the complete uncut version." Like the original was like an hour and a half, hour 20. The like complete version's like is like 2 hours, 2 hours 10, whatever. If you watch like that version, it has like so much more context or whatever. I think that the problem with that is like in Advent Children, in the complete version of it, it's like he's going through like the concept of like, I let you die, I feel like super guilty about this, whatever. Like he has these like ghosts of Sephiroth that he's like fighting or whatever. The entire time, like he basically, like, him and Tifa saved this kid from like Sector 7 like collapsing. They had like the guilt of like that sector like falling. They like save this kid, they raise him or whatever, and then like Cloud's get like he abandons them, whatever. When it goes through like the entire story, like Advent Children, he eventually like figures out that like he has like a life to live with like Tifa, who's like, you know, she's obviously like pining from this entire time or whatever. Like what's her name, like Marley, it's like Barrett's kid that he like, watches after it, and then like Denzel, who's like the one they like kind of like co-adopted ultimately. Like he ends up like fighting Sephiroth, and that like in the complete version, he has this like moment where like Sephiroth like fucks him up, and he talks to Zack, and like he and Zack, like Zack's like why like you beat him before, like why are you talking to me right now? And he's just like why are you here in the afterlife? And he was just like I'm your living legacy. And then Cloud comes out, Cloud Sephiroth up, beats him, whatever. And then like at the end of the movie, he sees Aerith again. Like she says like you're okay without me, right? And then she walks into the afterlife with Zack, and it's over. And then he says I'm home, and he looks at Tifa. It's over. Like they already made that story. They don't have to remake it. Like if they just can release the complete version, that the plot's over. They don't have to redo it. They've already done it. They just did it the wrong way.
Well, the way Sephiroth is like his villainy.
It's why he rules. It's why he rules.
He refuses to go away. He's like just through sheer will of like I will not die, and I cannot die. He just keeps coming back like through memories or whatever the fuck, like just through complete.
And hilariously, he always loses to the biggest loser in Final Fantasy VII, which is Cloud. A guy who failed through his entire life was the guy who beat him and continuously beats him.
But he just keeps coming back just from, like I said, pure will.
But I mean, I think the issue with like the new game, I get what they're going for, but it's like they, in the complete version of Advent Children, they have that story where like he goes through the concept of like angst and sadness and guilt and whatever, and he does give it up, but in the complete version, like he goes through those phases with those people, and he does like embrace the concept of family and shit. It sucks that like everyone hates that fucking movie.
I liked it.
I mean, I loved it, dude.
Yeah.
But the complete version is complete for a reason. It sucks that it came out so much later because it does finish the story. Like he does finally, let go. Like he sees her go away, and he's accepted it. What I think what's worse to me in like the new one was like in remake, the final fight with Sephiroth, there's like this moment where it's like you versus him one-on-one, and then he goes like 7 seconds, it's all it takes. And then like they had the whole build into like the new game, but the entire new game is like built on like the concept of like, okay, where's the 7 seconds mean, because in 7 seconds is where she dies or whatever. And then they had that moment where like he saves her, and then like suddenly she's dead again. And then he has that like weird like moment where he can keep seeing her, and everyone's all sad and shit. And it's like, great, whatever. Like let's go through like the next game again. But like, are we gonna retread the same fucking plot of Advent Children, where Advent Children, the complete version, actually like finish that plot, or are we gonna just redo it again?
I think it's gonna be far more emotional.
Probably, dude. I mean, like, dude, the ending to Remake fucked me up. Pretty bad. Like, dude, not for nothing. I mean, it's like it's an emotional time to the story, even though like I ship Tifa more than Aerith. Aerith plays games. Tifa's very more upfront with her emotions. Like that more. That's not what
I mean, ultimately, Tifa gets to be the one because the canon girlfriend dies.
Yeah. Well, the canon girlfriend dies, and then disc 3 they fuck under the Highwind. There's like a whole moment where like everyone goes home, and they go under the Highwind. She's like, "We have nowhere to go. Let's fuck," and then they do. And then they have that awkward thing where they go back in the Highwind, everyone's there, and they all say, "We fuck," and then you go fight Sephiroth. One of the stupidest fucking jokes in Final Fantasy was like, like here's an emotional beat of like two broken people who like grew up through like tragedy, who finally found each other and like saw love within each other, and they had like an emotional like moment, fucked, and then like they play it for jokes. They go to the Highwind, everyone's like, "We saw you guys fuck. That's crazy," and then you have to go fight the final boss.
That's crazy, dudes.
That's crazy. Red 13 saw you guys fucking bust nut. Anyway, Sephiroth's right there.
I will say, in some of the cutscenes that I seen in that video, I hate Red 13's voice.
Oh, when he goes to like from Red 13 to Nanaki, he
Oh,
goes from being like super.
I guess I didn't
he's, like,
know that there's a voice change in the game, but
Yeah, so it's not really like I guess like in the earlier version, FF7, like the translations are all shit. But I guess like one of the and I never clocked this either until like this version of the game. But so Red 13's like 80 or some shit, but to his